Hi, I'm Kevin Grandy. I work on a project called desmogblog, desmogblog.com. And for the better part of 4 years, we've been working on a project that follows what we like to call the climate denial machine. And what the climate denial machine is a group of ideologically motivated and financially motivated individuals and organizations, mainly in the United States, that have been working to muddy the science and confuse the public understanding of the realities of climate change. And the reason that this is done is it's a concerted effort to delay action. So if you can put a seed of doubt in people's heads about whether climate change is happening, you lessen the will of the people and therefore the will of the governments to do anything about this issue. So I'm here in Bangkok, Thailand, at the United Nations Framework Convention on Climate Change, also known as the UNFCCC. They love their abbreviations and fancy terms over here. And while we're not seeing much of this type of thing happening here in Bangkok, this is a kind of a preliminary meeting. It's not the big show that we're going to see in Copenhagen, also known as COP15. That's going to happen in mid-December in Copenhagen. And at that meeting, you're going to see a lot more people. World leaders from every nation will be there to hopefully shape a climate treaty for the next 20 years. Now, at that meeting, there will be something called the Truth Squad. And the Truth Squad is far from the truth. It's being run by a gentleman named Senator James Inhofe, who, even amongst Republicans in the United States, is very far out on his own and a fringe thinker when it comes to these things. And he'll be coming to Copenhagen, and he will be trying to convince journalists of his message that climate change isn't happening, global warming isn't happening, and that we really shouldn't do anything about it at this time, much like what the climate denial industry does in the United States. He's importing that or exporting that type of practice to COP15. And so of particular vulnerability, I think, are reporters and journalists who maybe are new to climate change, or maybe they're a new reporter altogether, and they're going to be at COP15, and they're going to be extremely vulnerable to this spin. I've been in public relations for 10 years, and I can tell you right now, it is an art form to manipulate, confuse, get your message out, whether it's true or not, and hope the journalists are right about it. So at COP15, you're going to see Senator James Inhofe there with his little movement of climate denial experts, and they're going to be working the media rooms in Copenhagen, and they're going to be picking off journalists and trying to write these stories about climate change not happening. But I'm quite certain that they're going to see through how ridiculous this is, considering every world leader will be there, not discussing whether climate change is happening, but what we should do about it, and what we should do about the effects we're already seeing around the world. So, while I don't think he's going to be as effective as maybe he was 10 years ago, he's still going to be there, and journalists and reporters need to know that he is going to be there with this team of professional PR spin doctors that are going to try and convince them to write stories about climate change not happening.